Welcome to Sipping On Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
Yeah, I don't know why this dude is smelling this cocktail that we got for today, but
Oh my gosh. I want to lick it from the inside out. Sipping. Sipping.
He just say he wants to lick it from the inside out. Welcome to Sipping On Excellence, y'all, because he's obviously somewhere else. I don't even know what to tell you.
I'm delusional.
Another week. This is actually a special week for Sipping On Excellence.
It's about.
You know, you guys know that tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Correct.
And, well, when you guys hear this, tomorrow will be Thanksgiving.
This guy.
Just keep it real. They know I don't record on a Wednesday.
Right.
So,
right.
Y'all hear it on Wednesday. So that's why we're saying tomorrow's Thanksgiving, unless we change our mind.
Is it you record or we record? You did say that like it was just you.
Sensitive Saturday, I swear.
I am. I'm living in a sensitive society.
Coach KJ and Doc record on Saturdays, even when he's sensitive.
It is not Doc. It's the Doc. I am sensitive. I am sensitive. You so sensitive.
So sensitive.
What's going on, Doctor?
Man. Back at it another week, man.
We are. We
are.
That
doing
Thanksgiving
what we do.
special.
Right. This is a good time of year. Thanksgiving, favorite holiday for me.
I bet it is.
You know why?
I wonder why.
You get 4 days off work.
Oh.
Every year, no matter what, you get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and it's the one holiday where people don't expect shit from you. You ain't buying no gifts. It's just time off.
But it's also something else that's special.
Oh, it's always around my birthday.
Exactly. That's where I was getting at. I was like, where you gonna get to that? Tell me about it, brother.
I'm just not trying to go there yet.
Really? Why?
I want to enjoy today.
Okay, fair enough.
Tomorrow we'll get here.
Fair.
Now everybody's gonna think my birthday's tomorrow.
Right.
Y'all got a minute. Now y'all better write in and wish me a happy birthday. You know what y'all think this is. I ain't playing with y'all.
Jesus Christ.
I'm tired of y'all just soaking up all this free knowledge and ain't giving none back to us. Yeah. He's laughing. I'm not.
But I'm the one that's sensitive.
But y'all wanna always constantly just take it all in. We want feedback too. Tell us what you know.
Right. Right. Give it to me.
We don't know it all.
Give it to me now.
We may act like we know it all.
Give it to me now.
Busta Rhymes over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nah, man. This is a great time of year, man. 2022 starting to come to a close. Yeah, the weather in LA has finally cooled off.
Right.
And this is a time of year where
I'm gonna be like him. I'm gonna post up.
Where we should all be grateful. And we're gonna get into all of that today. Gratitude is what this is about today.
Yeah.
And it's cool to talk about. It's really cool to talk about because we both, in our professional lives or personal lives, we're just grateful as shit at times,
And you can't say the word without not smiling,
right?
Not feeling a sense of positivity.
Yeah, for sure.
Even when you're talking about somebody that's not gracious, you're like, why? What's going on? Why can't you be where I am?
Right. Why aren't you grateful? Why aren't you happy? And I ain't saying you got to always be happy.
No.
You can have a bad day, but still be grateful for the day itself.
Right.
And people don't realize that a bad day doesn't mean you're having a bad life. It's just a bad day. Make the next one better.
Well, we're going to get into it.
Yeah. But, yeah.
We get some more definition behind it and everything in a minute.
We just talking rambling today. This is a conversation between two dudes. It always is.
Yeah.
But we decided
two
that.
Dudes. And that's okay that we said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy to be one.
Yeah. I'm not apologizing for it.
At all. Ever.
No.
Two dudes' opinion. That's what we doing.
Exactly.
Our thoughts, our opinions.
Exactly.
And not mad about it. But yeah, y'all, welcome back, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Is this number 40?
Yeah, it is.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
40 episodes, y'all.
Right.
I guess we got to release this one now. Guess we can't put this one on the back burner.
No.
Yeah. I just put us out there. Now we gotta
like, there's no editing on this one.
This is
this
y'all
is it.
It better turn out right. We only 5 minutes in.
Edit, start over.
Shit. All right, delete.
Right, that's like 15 minutes right there. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long day.
Might as well, right?
Exactly.
Might as well.
That's exactly it.
How was your week, man?
My week was good. We had, since we are being ahead, we had a Friendsgiving last night. That was amazing. Spending time with probably one of the best podcasters that's out there, and my boy Sean Stevenson. The reason why we're doing this, and every time I bring his name up, I'm gonna point it out and bring it up on this.
Shout out Sean Stevenson.
He's the reason why we're able to do what we do.
For sure. Gave us some good tips. Gave us some good pointers.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah. So, and there was another couple that was there, and we just had a good time. Just couples hanging out,
enjoying each other's company. That's what it's all about. I did something very similar last night. Just old friend of mine went to dinner on a whim, and just had a good time.
Yeah.
Polished off a bottle of wine, and so made my workout today a little bit of a struggle. But
right. He had that funny sweat.
I was on that bike like, God, don't take me now. It ain't time yet.
All dried up.
Right.
That clammy sweat.
Coach comes in there and is like, dude, you looking kind of lean. You been eating right? I was like, nah, that's that starvation diet. I just didn't eat. I guess that's clean. You guys are getting cleaner than that.
Man. Right. Man, oh man. How was your week?
Not a good thing. Remember, you gotta feed your body and your mind.
Man, anyway, how was your week, bro?
My week was good, man. It was good in one sense, and in another sense, just again, man, this being in the service field.
What do I know?
That there are some ungrateful people on this planet.
Yes.
And no matter what you do, it's never enough.
No.
And I don't know, is it something just in them? Is it the life they're living? Is it what is it? What makes people ungrateful? I don't know, man.
You know what? I think one of the things that makes people, we just get into it. I think one thing that makes people ungrateful is they're always looking for things that are going to make them feel grateful, as opposed to
just chasing happiness?
They're chasing, which is a wrong chase as well. They should be not even chasing; they should be feeling joy, because happiness that's an emotion. That's a feeling. Right. Joy is an internal.
And so it's, I don't know why people can be so ungrateful and just not appreciative. And it annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, it is.
And I think we're gonna go through all of that today as to, gratitude and why people should be thankful, and then flip the coin and talk about those that are ungrateful and why they're ungrateful, and how do we fix that? How do we not let that mess with our day?
Yeah.
How do we not internalize that lack of gratitude and really not just let it consume us?
Yeah, because as humans, we have a tendency to take on other people's shit.
A lot, right?
Yeah, and for no reason. And
part of our job is taking on other people's shit. You know what I mean? That's just that's what we've decided to do that in the businesses we're in. Look, if I'm going to help you through something, I'm going to take on part of that load to help you through it.
Right.
But don't throw all your shit at me, especially it's the part that I'm not supposed to take.
Right.
You know, and I got a what's wrong with y'all, a couple of them that we'll talk about. But I'm just like, for real?
Yeah.
You know, just, God, lack of awareness, lack of understanding, lack of gratitude.
Yeah.
It's all wrapped into that ball of shit that a lot of people in this world have inside them. I think there's more of that than not.
Oh,
for sure,
100%.
Right? For
100%.
Sure. But, you know, before we get into all of that, I mean, I want to talk to y'all first about the sip of the day.
Yeah, please tell them about the sip of the day because
this is what's going to get us through this podcast today.
First of all, when we decided, before you even bring that up, I want to tell you when you called, I don't know what was going on the other day, when you called, I was out. And I just kept feeling the phone ring, and I was like, why is there movement on the couch outside of me? What is going on? What is that noise?
Well, testament to you. I didn't even know you was asleep.
Yeah, but that's what happens. I answered the phone like, hello.
Right. I had no idea you were knocked out.
And went right back to sleep when they got off the phone. So when you text me back about the sip of the day, I was like, what's that? What? Oh, okay, yeah, we'll get to it later.
Right. Because we had talked about it.
Right.
See that? He doesn't even remember having a conversation with me.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that sounds good.
But the good thing is we were just talking about what we wanted to talk about today. And usually that conversation, even if we're both wide awake, is what's the subject and what the sip of the day is going to be.
Right.
It doesn't go any deeper than that because we do that
we
on the
created
mic.
on the mic, right.
So we got the two things out the way. So
I was out, bro. I don't know what happened that day, but I was done.
Dude.
It was like 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
I never sleep by 8 o'clock.
I had no idea you were asleep. And I didn't think you'd be asleep that early.
No. But I do answer the phone like I'm wide awake.
Oh,
hey, how you doing? What's going on?
Me, the opposite. Somebody called me the other day and they're like, what's wrong with your voice? I was like, I'm asleep. You do know it's 12:30, and I usually don't go to sleep at 12:30.
You answer the phone like Furious Styles?
I was like, hello. What's wrong with your voice? You sick? No, I'm asleep.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For you that do not know who Furious Styles is, look it up. Lawrence Fishburne. I won't tell you the movie. You have to guess.
Don't tell him.
No.
So what we decided to make for today is a tequila old fashioned.
In the H glasses.
So we broke out the good china today, y'all, because you can't have an old fashioned in a plastic cup. Well, we don't drink in a plastic cup.
Okay, there
anyway,
you go.
But we broke out the good crystal. And what it is you want an aged tequila. So you can do a reposado or you can do an anejo. I chose to do a reposado today, and it's 1.5 ounces of tequila, couple dashes of bitters, orange bitters, yes, and some agave syrup, usually a half teaspoon.
I just like the smell of it.
Of agave syrup. And, you know, whenever we make drinks, there's always some sort of fresh fruit garnish, and Kenny and I always just say
we fight it.
That. So, but if you want to make it right, you take an orange peel, twist it, spin it around the rim so you have that essence of orange on the rim, and then drop the orange peel in the glass.
Why did your voice get so low? Are you
because
trying to
I'm
sound
talking about this.
Why are you trying to sound so?
I'm trying to draw people in. Just draw them into this cocktail before I splash it in the face.
You might as well call it sexy old fashioned. Hello.
But yeah, and you mix it all up in a shaker, but don't shake it. Stir it.
Right.
Big spoon, just spin it around with ice until it's cold. Then strain it in a glass, in your lowball glass with one big ice cube.
Mm-hmm.
And there's your tequila old fashioned. So my brother, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
And that's a good cocktail.
That's a great cocktail.
Try it, y'all. All y'all bourbon drinkers out there.
Simple. It's great though.
Get you a good tequila and añejo. Switch that out for the bourbon, and you got your old fashioned. Anyway, let's get into my what's wrong with y'all.
Please do.
So
I can't wait.
There's nothing that burns me up more than patients that are ungrateful, man. They're just ungrateful patients, really, especially when you're doing. I always give so much of me to my patients. Mm-hmm. I'm accessible all the time. Nobody answers my phone calls but me when they call.
I know. We
after
experienced
hours.
that last weekend. We were like, okay.
Yeah, I answer it right there. And so for someone to call my office and basically state the otherwise, that I rushed them out of my office and didn't answer their question, all that stuff, that's one thing. When I get you on the phone and you curse me out, and then when I point out how wrong you were and listed A through Z of all the things that we talked about, and you're like, oh, well, I'm sorry. That doesn't fly with me.
But he would not have done that in the office.
No, not
you
at all.
Understand that.
That's why he waited to get home to call me.
Yes, exactly.
And
he has a barrier.
Only giving him a pass because his memory's not great. And when I pointed out the fact that his memory's not great, and he told me his memory's not great, but he still wasn't willing to check himself.
That's because it's your fault that his memory's not great.
Get
out of here with that.
Literally told me, if you knew my memory wasn't great, how come you didn't point it out? I'm like, at what point? I'm your spine doctor. I'm not your memory doctor. I give you a pass and repeat myself multiple times when I see you, so that way I think that you get it. If you don't get it and you know your memory's bad, bring somebody with you who's got a good memory, or write shit down. It's that simple. Ooh. Don't blame me for what you don't remember.
Right.
And that just doesn't go for my patients. You people in normal life. Yes, I said you people. So all of you people.
Yes.
If you have a disagreement with somebody, or if you're mad that something didn't get done or something didn't get said, don't get mad if you don't remember. Just because you don't remember doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
And so many people get mad. That didn't happen. No, you just don't remember it, and now you're mad at me because you don't remember it.
Right.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Relationships, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
No.
It's called selective memory.
Exactly. And it's my fault that you forgot? No.
Yeah.
And this is that same thing. And then, like we talked about that woman the other week that I had to fire from my practice because she actually cursed me out in my office. And when I said she was disrespecting me, pulled down her mask and smiled at me. And I was willing to give her a pass because she's old, late 80s, and no kind of memory. Still. And this is the second or third time she's come to my office and done that. So this time I was like, I gave you a pass twice. You will not get a third. This is it. And handed her letter. And especially since she doesn't even need me. There's nothing wrong with her. She just comes to get checked.
Really?
Nothing's wrong with her.
Oh, yeah, she got to go.
And I was like, I'm sorry, you just here. You're going to have to go see another doctor for these moments that you just want to chat. And so I was just like, these two things that just, it burns me up that people can be that way. Just ungrateful. But I will say, I could have an office full. I see 30 patients in a day. I can have an office full of 30 patients. 29 of them can be like that patient. All it takes is that one who is like, thank you, man.
Yeah.
And it changes, and it makes you understand your purpose.
Yeah.
This past week, you saw that thing I posted. One of my patients, older gentleman, who has some back issues, but he comes from Thailand once a year just to have me look at his back and say he's fine. But where he is, he has a shop where he sculpts and sells sculptures. And last year when he was here, he sat down, we were talking about what he does, and he's like, I'm going to make you something. Next time I see you, he's like, I'm going to bring it. And so a year had gone by, and I didn't remember that he had said that.
Of course not.
And so he came in with this plastic bag, grocery bag, whatever. And as we're sitting there talking, he's like, before we get started, he's like, it's heavy. Can you help me with this? He unpeels it, and it's this eagle head made out of bronze mounted on a marble slab. And all it says,
it was amazing.
All it says on the plaque is eagle's head and then his name. Right? So I know he made it. And he's like, I told you I was going to make you something. He's like, this is for you. And then he's like, you know what this symbolizes? The eagle, right? I was like, absolutely. I was like, soar high. He's like, yep, rise above. And I was like, that right there was in the middle of my day. I go put it on my desk. I have this phone call with this ungrateful patient at the end of my day.
Right.
And I was just hot. I walked into my office and saw that. Immediately,
Right.
I was like, all is right in the world, man.
Right.
All is right in the world because of that.
But
And this is a guy that I never even operated on.
But you know what's interesting about that is, and I say this because of where you are as a doctor, as a human being, is your ability to be good with yourself. And with your ability to be good with yourself, even when these dark moments or these bad moments or these frustrating moments happen, all you need is the one to pull you out of it. But a lot of people are chasing that one good moment.
Yeah.
And they have a bunch of them.
Yep.
But that one bad moment
Is what they focus on.
They focus on that.
You know, and I think
I just wanted to point that out because that was on my mind. Yeah.
That makes sense. And we focus too much on all the negative shit around us. And I think what all of you should do is start focusing, especially, and not just this week. Thanksgiving should be a culmination of everything you're grateful for, but you should be grateful every day of the year, you know. And so, you know, I'd like for us, man, to really talk about the things we're grateful for. And then I think we should go into why some people are ungrateful or not really ever pleased, which I think comes from a state of privilege.
Yeah.
You know, but tell me, Coach, if you look at your life, give me one thing you're most grateful for.
And this is going to be interesting. I think one thing that I'm most grateful for.
And it doesn't. And I shouldn't say most grateful for because you're grateful in different ways for
Yeah.
many things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just give me one of the things that you're grateful for.
And this is going to sound crazy, but I am very grateful for my divorce from my first wife. The reason why is because even though there were dark places, and I posted about this the other day, even though there were dark places and things that it was a transition in my life. It was a disruption for See, to me, disruption is transformation. So if you're needing to make some changes or things need to make, and you want monumental changes, you got to go through some shit in order to get there.
Yep.
And part of it was I needed that disruption in that part of my life to realize, okay, I need to do some more learning. I need to move forward with, you know, my business, with my thought process, my engagement with certain people, my hell, the place where I was living.
Yeah.
It was time. It was time for a complete transformation and transition, and that was, it was like cut on the table.
What's interesting that you said that, because what I was gonna say, I'm most grateful for. I'm most grateful or thankful for life suffering.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, you guys, is that there have been points in my life where if I didn't go through those things, I may not be the man I am today. Number one, if my father didn't die when I was 5 and he was allowed to be the successful doctor that he would have been, I would have grown up in a place of privilege, and I may not be the man I am today because I wouldn't have had to suffer and struggle and work and do all of those things to become grounded like I am.
Right.
So that's grateful for a tragedy. People are like, how could you say that? Because I am. Because I know that me and my siblings may have been different people if we grew up in a different world. the other thing is becoming a patient opened my eyes to so many different things.
Right.
And I think becoming a patient, as shitty as it was, I think it made me a better doctor.
Oh.
You ever see the movie The Doctor?
No.
There's a movie out there, it's called The Doctor.
Okay.
And it never hit me. It's like you understood it, but it's scripted until I became
The doctor. That patient.
That patient, that doctor had throat cancer. He was a asshole surgeon.
Okay.
I was never an asshole surgeon, y'all. But they had to make it the extremes.
Yeah.
And becoming a surgeon that couldn't talk for a while, and I'm kind of rushing through it, made him see.
This is our podcast, bro.
Yeah,
take your time.
Made him see things a little bit differently. Yeah. And him seeing these things differently, when he went back to work and started teaching residents again, he made the residents spend an entire evening, day and night. He put them in a ward and made them spend an entire day and evening getting all the tests that they would order on a patient with various diagnoses.
Okay.
And he's like, you're going to understand what it means to be a patient. And then you're going to understand what it's like, what these nurses have to go through and all this stuff. And then it changed his being. He became less of an asshole. With me, it was, I've always been aware and grateful for my position of privilege at this stage of my life. But having now been through it, instead of having sympathy, I had empathy. Because I can say, with sympathy, you feel it, but you don't understand. With empathy, I now feel and understand because I've been there.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, grateful for that, allowing me to be in that position. So there are things that you may suffer that will give you something to be grateful for.
Right. Well,
sorry.
Let me ask you, do you think beforehand, did you have a level of empathy for the people that you were working with?
Sympathy.
Yeah.
Not empathy.
And
because
probably,
and the reason why, because empathy is, and a lot of times I used to confuse this, that empathy was basically you have a true understanding. Like, for example, when we talk about men and women relationships, we can't empathize with a woman because we don't know what it's like to be a woman.
Right.
But we can sympathize.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I sympathized with all my patients, but I could never tell them, I understand what you're going through.
Yeah, because you had no idea.
I had no idea. Mm-hmm. Now, I understand.
Yeah.
And now I can say, and when I see these men come into my office and they're talking about it and then they'll ask me questions, I'm like, I'm not that kind of doctor, but I've been there. I've been right where you are. Here's what you could possibly expect. Right. And they're like, he understands me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what my...
it's a certain level of understanding that only comes with experience.
Like the post that I made the other day, that's kind of where I was. It was that I understand. Like, there's nothing new that you can tell me that I haven't gone through. So I'm here for you because I understand you. Not because I'm a coach. This is what I do. This is how to fix you. This is how... No, I understand. I feel you. I meet you where you are. There's a level of intuition.
You've been there.
I've been there, and it's not easy. And
that's like a single guy trying to be a marriage counselor. If you've never been married, you can't talk to me about what it's like to be married. You can only talk to me about the book you read.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so patients will always ask me, what's this back surgery going to feel like? Or what's my recovery going to be like? And I tell them outright, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? I was like, I've never had back surgery before. I was like, in my experience, here's what other patients tell me, but everybody's individual.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak from a place of experience when it comes to that. I've operated on 1,000 patients, but I've never had that myself. So I can only talk about what I've seen, not what I felt.
Yeah. Now, on the other side, I have a buddy of mine that we graduated college together. And he's a therapist, but he's also a life coach. He was once married. He's remarried, but has a child from his first marriage. And while he was single, and after the divorce, he set up this whole program where he helps young women, and he talks to young women. He tries to feed and nurture their minds.
Okay.
And there were a lot of people coming. He had a lot of backlash because he's this therapist, this male therapist that's working with young ladies. And they're like, well, what do you know? He said, because I have a young daughter. I want to see her grow and become the woman I believe that she can be.
Right.
But you're a divorcee, and you're talking about marriage with a child, with a daughter. He's like, I know what happens. Yeah. I've been there. I've seen it. I understand. I had my troubles. I had to work my way through it, and I'm a therapist, so I had to get help. I've seen it all. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's there just comes a different sense of understanding and gratitude when you've been through it yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You do. You understand it better. Like, for example, you go to a restaurant and eat. Mm-hmm. My friend and I were talking about this last night. And we'll get to deal breakers one of these days. But I hate when I'm with somebody and they're constantly sending food back, or always complaining about the staff, or just instead of just being grateful that they're there and understand that this person's trying to just do their job. And I always say, I feel bad for them because I've been in that food service industry. I've been on the other side, taking people's orders and doing all that stuff, and it's not easy. And so when somebody's coming hard at you like that,
especially if you're not cooking the food.
Yeah. I look at you and I say, in my mind, I'm like, how are you such an asshole to these people? And
no idea.
That just says something about their character. And you really learn something about somebody when you see how they treat the people they don't have to be nice to. And I see that and I'm like, dude, just be happy that you're at this fine dining establishment having a good meal. Okay, I can see if they brought your food out and it was ice cold or whatever it may be. Oh, you don't like that it's cut a certain way. Dude, it's not that serious. The drink is okay, but it wasn't exactly what you ordered. You know what? It's okay. Do you like it? Yeah, it's fine, but it's not what I ordered. Well, then just drink it. It's okay.
Right.
Why waste it? Just don't let this ruin your meal. And then they get all bent out of shape.
Got me thinking. Perfect example. Like, we talked about this before. When you go to like your coffee shop, let's say for instance, because they know you, they know your energy, they dig you, you get almost the same drink every time.
Yep.
But what happens if you wanted something different? But because they know you, they've already prepared your drink. You're going to take it
many times. I just take it.
You feel so gracious. You drink it all the time. So I'm just going to take this right now.
I may have wanted something different today,
I'll
but
try
you know
next
what?
time. Yeah, I'm in no rush.
If I catch them,
exactly.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm having this time.
Exactly.
But some people get all bent out of shape. I didn't want that one.
Yeah.
But is it really that serious? Is it really that serious? There's so much other shit going on. Is your drink order really that serious? When it's something that you like anyway.
Right. Or how about when you go to the specialty stores and someone, they give you, they hook you up, they give you a discount. Let's say like a coffee shop, they give you a discount every time. And let's say there's
a new person,
and you go up and they say, well, I get a discount every time I come up here. You know what? Now you don't.
I'm doing you a favor.
Right.
Just be grateful that you got the discounts in the past.
Right.
That comes with certain expectations because you feel you deserve it.
Yeah.
And that just, what the hell do you deserve? Yeah, I'm looking at you guys out there. What do you feel you deserve? Well, I mean, aside from respect, you don't even deserve that if you don't give it first.
Right.
And so that sense of privilege, and we talked about entitlement before, but I think it comes because people feel like I've attained so much in my life. Now I deserve things instead of just being grateful for those things.
Right.
And it always gets under my skin when I see people being mistreated by somebody who feels they should be in a position of power or a position of privilege or whatever it may be, you should treat me a certain way because I'm pretty. Yeah, no. Or I can talk to you any kind of way because I'm rich. Those things right there, instead of just like, you know what? I had nothing to do with the way I look. Genetics, mom and daddy, thank you. Be grateful for that instead of shitting on people because you happen to fall into what the world or society says is pretty.
Right.
You have money in your pocket. Yes. Be grateful that you can eat every day. Be grateful that you can go to this restaurant.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Instead of just shitting on people because you have more money than the person serving you. Their life is no more less meaningful than yours because you have money. As a matter of fact, they probably have more character because they actually know how to treat people. They're richer in substance and character than you because you're an asshole.
Yeah. All they need is opportunity and chance.
Exactly. And I think we tend to lose sight of that. We tend to lose track of, why are we here in the first place? And I speak about myself, knowing your why. That was on my post last week. It's like I keep getting reminded about my why.
You can only do how if you know why.
Yeah, and if you haven't figured out your why, then you're not grateful. You can't be grateful if you don't know why or what you should be grateful for.
Right.
And people look around and they're like, my life is in shambles. Everything about me is shitty. Be grateful that you have a life. Be grateful that you woke up. So the hardest part about your life every day is meeting that next day.
Yeah.
Be grateful that your eyes open because each day is a new opportunity to change the rest of it.
And you can't be grateful and have a shitty mindset at the same time.
You can't.
There's absolutely
it's
impossible. It's oil and water, man. Right. It does not mix
at all.
No.
And you have to be able to clean out that shit in your head.
Yeah.
In order to just be like, I can see the light. If there's so much darkness in here, like it's just cloudy as shit.
Yeah.
You'll never see the
half
sun
empty.
Again. You'll never see the fucking sunshine.
Yeah, half empty mindset.
And so, dude, just at least for a little while, pull back the blinds and just look, pause and look.
Yeah, even if you're in a shitty place, if you find that place of gratitude, it will open up the mindset to figure out why you're in that space so you can move forward and not be in that space anymore.
You know who some of the most grateful people are the ones who have the ability to learn from a shitty situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was in the post the other day as well.
Yeah, it's if you can't learn from a shitty situation, then you have no idea what to be grateful for.
Yeah.
You have to take that situation and be like, all right, that one bloodied up my shins a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so now I know I can see that shit coming. Yeah. Let me put on the shin guards.
Like from my, and I've mentioned it before, from my old pastor, like, what did you learn? First thing that goes through my head every time something happens, what did I learn? Okay, what did I learn? Okay. And that's just taking a hovering approach, a helicopter approach. You don't have to be in it. It's just a circumstance that happened. You don't have to be in it. You can be above it, look down on it, and say, I don't need to go that direction anymore, or I need to change this, so that way you can move out of it. It'll get you out of there quicker than just staying in it.
Yep.
And letting it surround you like an amoeba.
Right. And when you come across people who are going through something,
that's some good shit.
Oh, it's great, right?
Yeah.
It's that agave.
I had to stop.
I think that agave.
Sorry to break your thought.
Set that off. No, but when you come across people that may be going through something, or you don't know if they're going through something, the best, and I forget who this communications coach was that I was listening to the other day, and he said, we too often want to talk. He's like, and when you're first communicating with somebody, you want to talk about things like, you'll ask, where are you from? What do you do? Those types of questions, because that allows you, as soon as they say something, to talk about yourself. So instead, he was saying, why don't you say something like, why are you here today? Or, tell me what's going on with your day. Mm-hmm. How are you? And let them, and then just pause and sit there. And let that person talk, because then you will find out what's really going on, and then you can sort of draw into them as opposed to you forcing yourself on them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And then also what happens is that person becomes connected to you because now you're engaged with them and they're allotted a space to communicate.
Yeah.
And they feel at ease now. They're not on shelves like, okay, all right, so this is how this is going to go. Okay, next thing you know, he's going to start talking. And then it's my turn to talk, and then it's his turn. They're actually in the moment.
Yeah.
You allow them to be in the moment. And that is rewarding and fulfilling, and they feel gracious towards that.
And for you single guys out there, I'm going to put y'all on game. If you want that woman to like you and she doesn't even know you, guess what all you got to do? Listen.
Mm-hmm.
You spend so much time trying to impress. Don't impress. Let her talk. And when she's talking, actually listen to what she's saying instead of just watching her lips move.
Yeah.
Because if you pay attention and you listen, she'll be grateful for you because she feels like she's being heard.
Right.
And I'm saying man, woman, because that's...
I got one to even add to that.
Yeah.
And this I learned from a guy that was kind of a communications coach as well. He was an attorney, a divorce attorney that went to communications coaching because he realized that this is what's happening in all relationships.
Yeah.
It's the ability to listen. So what he says was, think of when you're speaking to someone, it's a double-sided mirror. And you just got to remove it. Because what that person is doing on that side is talking to themselves, and you're talking to yourself.
Yep.
So remove that mirror and allow that person to talk. But what happens is you do this, and this can help you guys as well that are out there trying to talk to women. When they say something of importance they want you to know, you say, what I'm hearing is this.
Repeat it back to them.
So that way, your interpretation, whether you got it wrong or you got it right, they can go yes or no. I meant to say it this way. Or they say, yeah, that's correct.
And it lets people know, and it's not just in male-female relationships. It lets people, the person
All
across from you,
relationships.
know that you're actually trying to understand them.
Yeah.
That you're actually trying to understand what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Because so many times we get it wrong.
Yeah.
And so in my profession, same thing. I ask a lot of questions, and then I say, they're like, oh, well, didn't you read it? Yes, I read it, but I want you to tell me, because what I read may be interpreted very different than how you tell me.
Yeah. And that all comes from a space of gratitude.
Yeah. And people are so thankful by just being heard.
Just this.
Just a
little bit.
Just a little bit. It puts them at ease.
Just a little bit.
And so those moments of gratitude, even though they're small, when they have them, they can take a breath, and they're like, okay, I'm being heard. And then they start dumping all kinds of other shit, but they still are happy that they're being heard. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of direct the conversation. So I will say the other thing that I'm grateful for, I'm grateful that I've been given the ability to relate.
Speak on that. You have to speak on that one.
And so what I mean by I'm grateful for the ability to relate, I have never lost sight of who I am. No matter what stage of my life I've been in, as a student, as a doctor, as a surgeon, as an entrepreneur, all these different things. No matter what I've accomplished in life, I've never forgotten who Leonel is. And so because of that, I find that I can relate to anyone, anywhere, anytime, even when we don't even speak the same language. Mm-hmm. And it's because of what's not said. It's about the interaction and the ability to communicate without saying a word.
Yeah.
And I think by no means is anybody a master at that. But I live my life trying to remain being me. So that way, it's always that. I'm always me.
Yeah.
And I think that gives me the ability to relate to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And not just people who look like me, but people who don't even look like me or may even dislike me. I can still relate to them because I'm normal.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not normal. Maybe that's abnormal.
It's
But I'm grateful for that aspect.
Yeah.
And that means more to me than anything.
I would say, I mean, you throwing out more gratefulness. I would have to say in a similar fashion, I'm grateful for my intuition.
Yeah.
My intuition has gotten me through things. It's gotten me over things. It's gotten me under things. And my ability to relate to people where they are and still at the same time slightly elevate, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Just that ability to take you like, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And put myself in a position of not being in front of you or behind you, but right beside you. We don't have to hold hands, but we're going to go there.
No, and I feel you. And here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at the flip side of gratitude and being ungrateful, and a lot of times it's the privilege, the expression of the privilege that makes you ungrateful at times. I think that the more people express their privilege, I think they're doing it to cover up their inadequacies.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think people go, I'm better than you. I'm this, I'm that. Look at me. I'm expressing all of this because actually when I look in the mirror, I see somebody who's not privileged. I don't feel privileged, but I should be, so I act a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're chasing it.
They can't be grateful for what they have, so instead they shove it in your face because they feel that what they have is not good enough.
Right.
And so they need you to tell me that it's good, that it's great.
Which is what we talked about last was imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's part of the imposter.
Right.
Is showing up and being actually more of a fraud than is actually an imposter.
Right.
And
so it's so funny that people will push that out there because they don't believe in themselves. Or they push that out there because they're kind of an asshole.
Or they're a hip-hop artist. They're a rapper.
Right.
I'm from the streets, son. No, you not. You from Beverly Hills, bro.
Malibu. Malibu's most wanted.
I'm from the streets. No, not streets. From the streets.
From the streets.
From the streets.
Man, but yeah, it's just, I don't understand, and I keep saying this, I don't understand how gratitude is just not a part of everyday life. And people just, and we hear people say it all the time, be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. And I don't have anything to be grateful for. Yeah, because you feel like you're in a rut, you're in a hole. You feel like the world is coming to an end. And like I said, it's dark. It's like a black hole in there. And all you need is somebody to turn on a switch. And that somebody needs to be you.
It's like last night we were going around the table and talk about 3 things that we're grateful for. So one of the things that I said was, and people were like, oh, okay. I said, I'm grateful for what I don't know. So I have all the opportunity and possibilities in the world to what I can get to.
Y'all out there who saw that, I just gave Kenny a pound because that right there is.
I'm grateful for that.
Because if you know it all, then you have nothing to live for.
Man.
Right?
Yeah. And I don't have to chase it.
No.
I'll receive it when it comes to me because my intuition will let me know, okay, this is the way.
Every interaction you have, there's always something you don't know about that interaction.
No.
Whether it's a person in front of you, whether it's a book you're reading. You don't know the ending of the book because you didn't read it yet.
Right.
Or there's always something about that situation that you can learn something from. If you can't, then life's over for you.
I always go back to what did you learn?
Yeah.
What did you learn? What did you learn? What did you learn?
And it doesn't have to be anything big.
No. One little thing. Just take it's like what they say about the Bible. Just, take it in dosages.
Right. You can't drink out of a fire hydrant.
No.
You can only take one glass at a time.
One glass at a time.
But yet people think they know it all because they know this much.
Right.
Not realizing that the fire hydrant's still full of shit they don't know.
Right.
But they're just like, you know what? Since I know this very well, I'm not even gonna try to learn that over there, and I'm just gonna be a know-it-all for what I think I know. Did that make sense to y'all?
It did, but it didn't.
Play this one back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it back and be like,
Did I say that out loud?
You're a know-it-all because you think you know more than you know at the time of you knowing it. I just confused the shit out of everybody just now, including myself.
Shit. When you said that, it made me think about like when you're on the road and you're driving. You're like, I'm just cruising along, being great. Having gratitude. I'm in my own car. I'm driving. Life is good. And you got somebody speeds by you, they cut you off, and then they're zooming in front of you.
Immediately ruins your day.
Yeah.
Why?
But for me, I'm like, hopefully he gets to where he got to go. Nowhere fast. Because they're going nowhere and they're speeding to it.
Yeah.
Why are you in a rush? Think about when you drive. Let's take gratitude back down to where you drive. Be happy you got the car. Be happy you're getting to your destination. Be happy where you're going to, as opposed to like, oh my god, I gotta get through this traffic. I gotta get through people. I hate people. I hate this traffic. I hate the
gas prices are so high.
Yeah. Dude,
yeah, but you're able to put gas in your tank.
Exactly.
You have a tank to put gas in. Exactly.
It's just taking steps back. Just being with the moment. Where you got to go so goddamn fast.
People, life moves fast enough as it is.
Yeah.
Those moments you can slow it down, slow that shit down. Slow that shit down when you can.
Yeah. Biggest gratitude for me, though, what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
I look forward to this moment, sharing, talking, running my mouth. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't, but I don't care because I'm here for it all.
And until this, I would say between this and social media, before that, I really didn't talk about much. To people, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I just kept it in.
Yeah.
And so for all of you out there, just understand that conversations are therapeutic.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody.
Open your damn mouth.
So what I do is the shit that's in my brain, you guys see it on social media. Mm-hmm. It's not premeditated. It's my thoughts, and this is how I get things out. And then it used to come out whenever Coach and I are training, we used to have conversations. Mm-hmm. And when he came up with this idea for this podcast, I'm like, all right, well, now we get to talk.
Yeah.
Like really get to talk to whoever wants to listen. And you have a captive audience because nobody's here cutting you off.
Right.
We're just having a conversation, and I can get out all my thoughts. You can get out all your thoughts, and then we're like, all right.
In the words of my wife, we here for a good time, not a long time.
So be grateful, you guys, for everything the world throws at you.
Right.
Be grateful for the life you're alive to live, and every breath you take is one more that somebody else didn't.
That's right. And be thankful because it's Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Understand what this is about. It's not about the turkey and the food and all that stuff. It's not about the pilgrims coming here and stealing shit from the Indians. It's about how you feel. Be grateful for the people in your life, your family, your friends, your work, and just do.
Matters of the heart, man.
Take a moment of pause and just relax.
Yes. Breathe it in.
Let it out. All right, Coach. Where they gonna find you, man?
Coach at Coach KJ Knows on Instagram and CoachKJ.com.
Me at
you.
Leonel Hunt.
That's you.
At Leonel Hunt and at HuntSpine.com. You'll find us both at SOE_podcast, and you'll find us anywhere on the net you look for us.
Bye.
We ain't out yet. Now we out.